This is a
Good time, Charlie?
production.
On your marks, get set, play.
I love that.
Good favor.
That I really like.
That is delicious.
Welcome back to the Tip. It's Creme Patisserie. It's a great British bake-off podcast. It's hosted by Nick Jew,
Hola.
Big Anthony Tatum.
¿Cómo está usted? Muy bien, ¿y tú?
I see, gracias. And me, the Interstellar 713. We out here. This week in the 10th season, series 14, episode 6. It's Botanicals week, a whopping 57 minutes of podcast funk. Everything edible bit was meh.
Superman.
I was calling this one kind of mid, people. This one kind of mid. It's just how I guess it goes down every now and again. Well, I mean, look, and it took you all the way to 6 to make me feel like I don't know, man. Y'all could have did better.
It's a great start.
Solid all the way around. But you know what it is. Each week we come through, we recap and discuss the Great British Bake Off. But in the midst of all that, we got to hook you up with a little something extra. So we give you a little news segment. We call that segment Bakers Make the World Go Round. And then I push play. Bakers make the world go round. And you get that little theme song playing. It's kind of groovy. It's kind of nice. And I read an article. And I never, ever read you the whole article unless it's a very short article. And this one is lengthy. So I'm going to read you a tidbit of it. It'll be in the show notes for you to read the rest of. And I hope it grabs your interest. This is from Munchies, which used to be a vertical of Vice. Don't believe it exists much anymore because not much of Vice still exists. And this is an older story, but I thought it was fascinating. And I've had it in our little folder for some time now. So we spoke to the winner of the Great American Baking Show that never aired. Yeah, y'all remember that? American never got to see Valerie Lomas win. The show was taken off the air due to sexual misconduct allegations against the judge, Johnny Izuni. Mayuk Sin on the byline. There is no prize for the person who wins the Great American Baking Show. Visibility is a prize itself. Winning a reality competition that's broadcast on ABC, one of the nation's largest networks, affords you a certain level of recognition after all. We're not just talking about some diddly reality show. This is the American spinoff of the Great British Bake Off, a show that's attracted a devoted, borderline cultish following. Valerie Lomas won the third and most recent season, so that lets you know how old this article is, of the Great American Baking Show, though there's a good chance you never heard her name or have seen her face. In spite of her achievement, Lomas didn't even get the satisfaction of visibility. ABC pulled her season off the show off the air after 2 episodes, a decision that came shortly after Mike reported detailed allegations of sexual misconduct against one of the show's main judges, Johnny Izuni. Lomas, 32, entered the show with high hopes. These expectations, she told me over the phone earlier this week, were coupled with a sense of disbelief that the opportunity was given to her. The whole experience of filming the show felt surreal. She grew up in the south of Louisiana with vivid memories attached to eating and cooking, from her grandmother's fig and grapefruit trees to picking strawberries with her family every summer. She took on baking roughly 7 years ago as a hobby while she was a third-year law student at the University of Southern California. Lomas now lives in Harlem and works as an attorney. She then began documenting her culinary undertakings on her blog and Instagram, which she caught the attention of producers of the Great American Baking Show. Lomas auditioned at their urging, got accepted, filmed the show at the end of last summer, and ultimately won. She was contractually obligated to keep quiet about her victory until after the show aired. The finale didn't air. What the world saw instead was a chopped and screwed video barely over 90 seconds long posted to the show's Facebook page last month. It was followed by a 15-minute Facebook Live and occasional snippets from unaired episodes. Stories of sexual misconduct in the food industry have been emerging at a distressing pace in recent months, following the multiple allegations against film mogul Harvey Weinstein that went public in October and kickstarted the Me Too movement. With that context, Lomas is another example of a woman who's been forced to pay for someone else's alleged indiscretions, especially as a woman of color who rose to prominence in a domain that skews white and male. Instead, deprived of her moment, Lomas has become collateral damage. But Lomas was quite clear with me on the one front. She's determined to make the best of the situation. Again, the rest will be, you can read the rest of your show notes. I'll leave the link there for you. Yeah, that's a wild one. I remember, like I said, it was Steph's wife and Spice Adams, right?
Yep.
That's who were our host on the Great American Baking Show that aired on ABC. And yeah, I remember Buddy. I mean, I didn't think he was kind of pederast or anything like that there, but as it turns out, he kind of was a butt. So, and they had to just pull that show from the air because that's just what we were doing at that time.
Yeah, I wish I could remember. I think it might have been Fresh Air. She gave a really, really good interview on there, and I'll Google it behind, like while we're talking. But it was a really great interview because I saved her book in my Amazon wish list to buy it.
Cool. So this is up. Show love to that black woman, that baker, who never got the love she so deserved. Although
I want to know where in South Louisiana she's from because that's where my family's from. What's her last name?
Lomas, Lomas.
I don't know.
And here I will actually, because I need it for the notes anyway. I will just drop it in the chat, and you can see she got a little familiarity to her the facial structure. Like, as you do a Leonardo DiCaprio,
Like that's my cousin and them.
But that, like I said, that was our little, like I said, our little news segment. Bakers make the world go round. We do it every week. I hope you enjoy. But let's get to talking about our week in the tent. Botanicals week. Yeah, I guess the ideal, I guess, is sound enough. I don't know. I was not really a hype off of it. Our 7 remaining bakers in the tent this series are Christy Sharp, Dan Casador, Dana Conway, Josh Smalley, Maddie Edgel, Saku Chandrasekhar. I'm not editing that time. I'm leaving it. That's what you get. Tasha Stone. Signature this week. 12 spiced buns, 2.75 hours to complete. Spice buns. I get it. Just call them shit cinnamon buns, people. But no, they didn't. That's not what they want to do. They got to get a little special, spiced. Big state cinnamon buns. That's all it is. Saku. Swedish cinnamon spice buns. Lots of cardamom and cinnamon in both the dough and the filling. Sure. This is an upsetting episode for your boy. You'll know why later. Tasha, Yuletide spice buns flavored with cinnamon, cloves, nutmeg with a mulled wine egg wash and a glaze glaze all in the dough. This was check one of Allison. This was Allison's episode, hands down. That's one reason I actually love this episode, in that Allison was on absolute fire end to end. Just hilarious at every beat and bit, and I loved all of it.
Hard agree.
So, yeah. Maddie's up next. Rum drunk spiced buns. Spiced hot cross buns. Not filled dough. Flavored with cinnamon, nutmeg, and ginger with dried fruits that have been soaked in a ginger rum. Is ginger rum just spiced rum? Is that the spice? Or is that something different in itself? I just don't drink
don't
enough,
know.
people. I'm sorry. I'll be straight up
Well,
missing.
no. So there is a such thing as spiced rum.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I didn't know what it was spiced with. So I was like, maybe this is what it's been spiced with this whole time.
I don't think it's ginger. It tastes like something hearty.
This is probably just like
Peppery.
almost all the warm spices, right? Like, because usually, like when you drink it, don't you mix it with eggnog to complement the flavors?
Not me.
You know, I don't know.
What I said to cat.
Do we have an eggnog conversation? Hold up.
Can be a single botanical, such as pineapple, or the traditional spices of vanilla, cinnamon, cloves, ginger, and cardamom.
Yeah, the warm spices,
Well, there it is. Fair enough.
which really is pretty much almost pumpkin spice, but but we smart.
Yeah.
Call that shit pumpkin spice rum and keep it moving, and don't change a damn thing. I love it. I absolutely love it. Christy, maple, pecan, and cinnamon spice buns. Cinnamon in the filling and throughout the dough, and cinnamon maple syrup glaze to top it off. Again, this is Allison. No tears in the tent this week.
Jinx.
You owe me a Coke.
Dan's up next. Bun in a million. God,
Damn,
oh my God, it's so good. Spice buns, unflavored dough in a spice bun competition tells you all you need to know. Cardamom, pistachio, and orange in her fillings and in the glaze for toppings, along with some rose petals. All those flavors are light unless you hit them hard, and if you hit orange too hard, we know it means the dough won't rise. This is my own little commentary. This is a bad idea. Okay, just gonna put that out there. This was a bad idea. Josh up next. Lemon and blueberry spice buns, lemon curd filling along with cinnamon soaked dried blueberries, in addition to some fresh blueberries. Further fruity frisson was a bit of alliteration, and frisson, just in case you didn't know, because I did, is defined as also known as aesthetic chills or psychogenic shivers. It's a psychophysiological response to rewarding stimuli. Just like the word frisson did for your boy. That was great. It was too much for me. I was like, this is amazing. That literally was rewarding to my brain.
Right?
So I love alliteration. Cannot get enough of it. So let's go. And it's not the only time it happened. Prue did it at some point in this episode, and I should have marked it, but I did not. But I know she did, so it was pretty great. Dan, dreaming of Greece spice buns. I want y'all to know, and again, this is my notes, but I want y'all to know. It was here that I decided that Dan sounds like Albert from The Dark Knight Rises, giving strong Michael Caine energy.
Handsome Dan.
So next time y'all listen, just saying, kind of picture it and see if you catch the vibe.
I'm
I'll
hoping one day to see you in a French cafe.
That's exactly what it was, because he was talking about, because he said a Greek taverna, and that just made me think of Michael Caine talking about a cafe, and I was just like, bruh, y'all got a vibe.
Yeah, a brief aside, like Michael Caine, like I know he's been in a ton of movies like before then, but I'm only really know him from that movie. Like I never really seen Michael Caine in anything else.
Oh, he's like so good to me in Interstellar, but that's just another Christopher Nolan joint. So, yeah, relatively speaking. Dan's buns are flavored with saffron, cinnamon, star anise, topped with a fresh fig, and they give it, I guess, a Chelsea bun vibe to the judges. Chelsea buns are usually rolled with dried fruits and a mixed spice blend as opposed to just cinnamon, like cinnamon rolls. They're glazed as opposed to iced, once again, like cinnamon rolls. Right here, Group Hug Sans Noel was also pretty fun. Again, every beat here is Allison, and I'm eating it up. Love it to death, y'all.
Yeah, it was something about him not hugging that really tickled me. I was like, no, but not me, because I dig that. He was like, nah, y'all can have them hugs.
And that joke he made about Paul checking out his buns. Paul was disgusted.
It was a real look of salt, but I know they boys, so I know it's not really. But it's like also he's like, oh man,
you bastard.
Like don't have me on blast on the streets out here, man. This hoe's over here. Our judging of our signature, Tasha's up top, likes the color, unusual, festive, kind of big is what Prue says. And I was like, Prue, you wildin'. Consistent, which is pretty much what pretty much what everybody's being tested on with this in this signature. Because they was told straight up, I want them to all be even and look alike. And I feel like this is the first go around where they mean that. I mean, they've been saying it this whole time, but this is one where they like, look, I said even, and I need them shits to be even. And it just shows up time after, as we go through it, you'll hear. Nice open structure, which Paul certainly didn't expect. When he was told that some of the liquids being replaced with mulled wine, he was like, doesn't that make for a tight texture? And Tasha just answered, no comment. And he was like, you can't say no comment. That's my bars.
She said that the mulled wine was replacing part of the milk.
Yeah, part of the milk and part of the water.
No, this is the point that I'm about to make. Part of the milk, which means that there was still milk in it. Milk and mulled wine together?
I have no idea.
This was the beginning of my stomach turning this episode. Milk and wine?
I got a guy I know who made mulled wine once, and I was just like,
I make it every year.
I'm not drinking this.
No, it's delicious. I make it every year. It's the key is not to boil out the alcohol, but it's a perfectly fall thing. Like your house smells delicious. It goes down warm and lovely. I just can't imagine mixing wine and milk and not getting sick.
Well, I mean, we're not drinking it. It's just mixing into some dough.
But the flavors
are overpowered by the mulled wine. Milk ain't never doing nothing. Just hanging around being fat.
I think it's just because I hate milk. Yeah, I think it's because I hate milk, and the idea of it makes my stomach turn.
Yeah. No, man, it's all vibes, baby. We got this. Prue loves the flavor. It's Christmas. Like the texture, beautifully balanced between all the flavors. Created something that is really pleasant in the mouth. Well done, terrific. I think worthy of a handshake, but that's just me. Because the way they talked it through, I was like, you're not going to dap my girl up?
I don't think they needed to dap her up because they, in my opinion, give her special treatment because later on, she got the exact same critique as someone else, and they were, in my opinion, much harder on him about it than her.
Ooh, we'll go. Oh, the gap.
Yeah.
And once Prue said, and I mean, we'll get there, but I'm going to say it anyway. Once she said, you just need a bow, and it rang my bells like, oh yeah, I've seen these cases where they do put a bow on to keep that split clean. How do they put a bow on that shit? Maybe they don't. Maybe the youngins don't know. Dan, love the shine. They look tempting and delicious, but they are uneven, dramatically uneven. I don't even know what dramatically uneven could even mean. It's like, damn.
It's like a skateboard ramp.
Saffron and other spices come through at a nice level. Not overpowering. It's the lack of consistency in shape and size. The fresh figs on top, according to Prue, a real piece of genius. And Paul agrees and says, lovely, and they all work well together. Y'all ever ate just straight up figs?
No.
Yes.
I want to mark that by year end.
I've had, of course, fig Newtons. I've had fig jam on a cheese board, but I've never had just a fig.
Yeah, it's there was a fig tree in the neighborhood where I went to like kindergarten.
Oh,
and
nice.
I remember picking the figs off the tree and peeling them and eating them.
Fair. Like I was looking at him chef these up, and he just cut them holes, and I was like, "You eat the outside? Is that a rind? How to play?" Clearly, I know nothing about it.
I never ate the outside. We always peeled that part and got to the inside. But I don't know if you can eat the outside.
Fair.
Yeah, fig Newtons are definitely underrated.
I love a fig Newton. I almost got some in Aldi's, but I passed them up for some blueberry breakfast bars.
If you ever get a chance, go. You see the big Deborah fig bars. Whew. Something that make my heart flutter. Like it's something about like they're more cakey than like Fig Newtons are a lightweight hard. They're good, but they lightweight crispy. Little Debbie really know how to make a good fig bar. I might go get some tomorrow. I'm not lying to you.
Fair enough. I never even considered it. I guess I should.
We have actually compared and contrasted you and I together.
When? Man, I'm old, but it's okay. I'm allowed for it.
I mean, we have known each other for 20 years, so. But yeah, we compared and contrasted a figuroo, what they were called at that point, to a Fig Newton.
I think the figuroo is what threw me off. All right, here we go. Dana, inconsistent shape and color. No two alike. Not a lot of cardamom. Some orange and pistachio. But the name of the game is Spice Buns, people, and well, more rose than anything. Could you imagine getting more rose than anything when somebody just sprinkled a few rose petals on your shit? That means your flavors didn't even attempt to make it an appearance.
It's crazy.
It's all very upsetting, people. I think y'all can see how this is going for me. Saku. Look nice color, bit of a size difference. I love maths as a word, y'all.
Yes, same. I've used it. There are several like UK turns of phrases that I've adopted. Maths is one of them.
So whenever I'm on Twitter and I see maths trending, which I had to find out one day means married at first sight.
Yeah.
I just always think of maths, and it just makes me laugh every time. I always like, we always talk about maths.
Was this the week that she also just was doing like cinnamon and Paul was like, or was that last week where she was like, oh no, it's from Sri Lanka. No. Yeah. So, cause this is the week cause she initially was just like talking about it's cinnamon buns, but I'm making them with cardamom. Get it? And he's like, wait a minute, hold on. You ain't gonna have no Sri Lanka, right.
Sri Lankan cinnamon in this shit. I'm gonna add cinnamon up in this shit. Chill out, y'all. Just trying to make jokes.
And then, at the judging, when she said her mask was off, Paul was like, aren't you like an accountant?
like Paul, don't get me fired. At least she mentioned her boss by name, and I was like, your boss is never gonna fire you because you saying her name on TV around the globe. She's gonna love you forever.
I love her so much.
She's so good, and then so bad at the same damn time.
Oh my god. Her personality is keeping her because her and Nikki back to back. Get your ass up out of here.
For real. They love the twisting. The texture is tight, but the balance of cardamom is lovely as the camera focuses on Dana.
The twist was dope.
Flavor combination between cardamom and cinnamon is absolutely spot on. So they taste good. The dough just ain't hitting like it should. Josh, look unusual. Like cartoon characters hypnotizing you, which is just such a fun and he just drew spirals with this lemon blueberry situation for my people who don't watch the show but need a visual. So that's what was going on top of these buns. Nice color, lovely color. In fact, you don't really get the blueberry. The berries have become more of a carrier for the cinnamon, which Paul likes. It's like an ice bun with lemon running through it. Turns out an ice bun, one of Paul's favorite things ever.
Mm-hmm.
Prue thinks the bread is beautiful, the glaze is beautiful, and she likes the look of them. A pretty good bun. Christy, pretty consistent. Looks impressive inside. And you just have to picture it. It's like, imagine if you will, a sideways sitting cinnamon roll with little lines up and down it, like in the middle. It was really well done.
Mm-hmm.
Flavor's lovely, not too sweet, absolutely delicious. And Prue wants more, but she knows she has more judging to do, so she can't keep wrecking shop on these damn buns.
Mm-hmm.
Maddie's up, and Maddie takes us out. Actually, they look lovely, shiny, consistent, and even. The cross looks good too, but it's dense. The structure isn't open enough because he hadn't listened to Allison, who again earlier in this competition told him leave that shit in that drawer and let it prove longer. Remember, they said how you be underproving shit, and he's like, I'm gonna take it out now. Just listen to Allison, okay? Allison has too much power, y'all. I'm telling y'all, no one woman should have all that power. She, like Zach, was crushing stuff. So not enough ginger, needs more fruit. If you're gonna put fruit in it, put fruit in it. Paul was saying, I'm just letting y'all know. Very delicious. It could just be better. And I know that this is Maddie being put onto game. And I truly hope he learns from it. Because he's going to give you're pretty much explicit instructions on what you can do to better yourself as a baker. And one, that is trust your proof time. And two, don't bullshit. Put the fruit in it.
It was definitely the same energy as like, don't you be fucking with the macaroni and cheese on Thanksgiving.
Don't you be experimenting on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, just put the goddamn fruit in there, boy. Damn.
That's exactly the case. Let's roll on out to the technical challenge this week. Our technical challenge this week, a lemon and thyme drizzle cake, 1.5 hours to complete. The lemon and thyme bit was pretty great because Allison runs up on Maddie like, "Look, you're dressed as a lemon," and then No just slides over like, "Girl, you know you dress like thyme," and it's just like they all just get a good laugh. And I can say it, Allison was on fire this week, and I loved every bit of it. Y'all know what it is. We had for judging and technical because we don't need to really go over how they cooked. Judging, Dan's up top. Definition is pretty good. Strong color. Icing could have been thicker. Crystallizing looks okay. The texture's good. Very light. Just not enough time in it. Maddie, weird coloring. Some light spots, some dark spots. Like it hasn't been mixed properly.
Mm-hmm.
Quite an open looking cake. Far more lemon than thyme. But Paul likes the sharpness of the lemon against the hint of thyme. A little more crystallized lemon and thyme on top. But it would have been nice, but it's very nice otherwise. Dana likes the decoration. A few marks where it stuck to the mold. Not enough time, and not a lot of lemon either while you're talking about it. And the texture is a bit coarse. I'm like, how can you fuck up a cake like that?
Wait, real quick. Remind me of what they said about her signature.
I'll just roll back to her signature. Inconsistent shape and color. No two alike. Not a lot of cardamom, some orange pistachio.
It is at this point that I would have just walked out of the tent.
It's like the one thing she's been hitting on this entire time. Every time they're like, your flavors are spot on. Your flavors are spot on. This week, just said no. It's like she got shook out of her fucking boots on one of these occasions recently where they said her flavor was too much. And she's like, I'm going to dial it back. She dialed it back so much that she dialed her ass out the goddamn tent.
And she said at the beginning of this episode, I want a handshake, first and technical, or Star Baker. And
the audacity. Y'all know that's my boo.
Well, I don't think I think that it was aspirational for her. I think she was saying at this point in the competition, I have not achieved anything of these. I would like to grab one.
Nothing.
I'm gonna be a dick right quick and be like, that's with reason.
I think she would agree with you. And I think that's why she was saying, like, at this point in the competition, I haven't done shit. I need one of these to show up today. Yeah.
No, I want this before I leave tonight.
If she had gotten any of those things she wanted, she wouldn't have left.
She would not have left.
Cue to Frankie Beverly.
Tasha, a bit dark. Overflowed on the top. The icing a bit clumsy. I disagree with this particular synopsis. I was like, that looks actually pretty neat to me, but whatever. Getting the thyme and the lemon. Lot more time. Slightly overbaked.
You see how more critical they are when they don't know it's her?
Child, I guess.
I know you like her too. I'm just a little bit more objective, I think.
Well, a lot for it. Christy, the icing is neat. Into the grooves. Quite clever because there's time in one groove, lemon in another groove, so you go back and forth like that. Very neat. Definitely getting the thyme and lemon. Nice balance. It's very good. Saku, a bit irregular in color. On one side, then the other. Broken in the mold. Lemon isn't properly crystallized. Very raw. I want y'all to know that it's 3 weeks straight that one of Saku's bakes has been described as raw. More time than lemon. Just want to point that out to y'all, okay? Lemon. Oh, excuse me, Josh. I look at the word lemon that is above Josh on my notes here. Like the look of it. Pretty neat on the bake. Like the way the icing is confined to small ribbons down the runnels. Never heard the turn of phrase runnels. Maybe that's something you use when you're baking in that particular type of pan. Can see the thyme, but can't taste it. Could have used a bit more. The lemon's tangy and the bake's good. Our ranking for the technical this week is in seventh, Tasha. A bit clumsy on the icing and a bit of trouble getting out the 10. 6 is Dana. very irregular, with the colors inside too pale, clearly stuck to the sin. Fifth was Saku. Fourth was Maddie. Third was Dan. Second, Josh. Very nice. Like the icing, like the decoration. Love the color. Needed a little more time. In this case, the seasoning. Don't think they took a clown on my boy. And in the first place, Christy. Love the decoration. Elegant. Lots of time. Lots of lemon. Perfect. I don't know. Something about Prue saying something's perfect just does right by me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Thanks, Prue.
Yeah, I think it was Maddie. It was like he's feeling like what Prue was saying is meaning more to him this week.
He's like, I'm seeing Prue, y'all. I'm like, you should be. She does the nan role pretty well. She looks out for her little babies and tries to make sure y'all all feel good about yourself after the fact.
And she also looks people dead in their face when she tastes their food. Like,
This is rubbish.
I need you to know what this expression is about to be. That comes in effect later. If you remind me when we talk about Saku here in a bit, we'll discuss. Showstopper, a beautiful floral dessert. Nick Jew, were you showstopped this week?
no.
Shocking.
I mean, I was show stopped in the way that I had to stop the show because I almost threw up. Every time somebody jiggled that shit, I was like, oop.
Nick Jew and Jealous and Base Creations do not get along.
No.
Can't even look at them hoes for too long without it causing her a little bit. So we'll try to get around this conversation as quickly as we can. Well, as best we can without
Also,
causing
I just
any
don't
issue.
understand why you would want to eat a cake with jelly on top.
Right?
Syringe
Jelly.
jelly.
Ill. You can't trust it. You can't trust them colonizers. They be doing shit like this.
Like, if somebody served that to me, I would be so upset. Like, pudding, sure. Give me some pudding type shit inside of a crust, a cake, whatever. But like a clear, jiggly thing on top of a solid piece of cake, I will die.
I would pay $1 million to hear Nick say, "Hey, can I get some pudding type shit up over here in this table real quick?" You get that pudding type shit.
Get that pudding type shit, but not that jiggly shit.
But any style dessert, but it must include a significant baked element and celebrate florals through flavors and design. 4.5 hours complete. This is, I feel like, the longest showstopper that we have this go round. Everything else has been cut right about 4 hours. So, Dan's up top. Sunny Meadows floral dessert, wildflower meadow layered dessert, jacon sponges flavored with elderflower, with dandelion jelly, pond with shoe pastry swans that sit upon that pond, and a meadow sweet buttercream. Let's go through everything we need to know about this cake. A jacon sponge is a relative of the genoise. The jacon sponge cake, or biscuit jacon, is a thin sponge made with ground almonds. It can be used as a layer in a layer cake, for example, an opera cake, which is what my man Dan brings up, or for decorative purposes as jacon imprime. I don't know what imprime is. Look, I can't keep going down the rabbit hole. We'll never get out of it. But I'm also going to tell you about meadow sweets. So, Filipendula ulmaria, commonly known as meadowsweet, or meadwort, is a perennial herbaceous plant in the family Rosaceae that grows in damp meadows. It's native throughout most of Europe, Western Asia, and Near East and Middle East. Smells of cat pee to Paul. Let me tell y'all something. Mango, like nectar, and peach juice all have a little hint of cat piss to me.
I can see that.
And no one else ever picks up on when I'm like, the shit smell like cat piss. And I picked that up. Thank you.
Yeah.
I especially smell it when it's like artificial and candy.
Yeah. It just, there's something to it. It's just a little ting in the back of my brain. I'm like, that's cat piss. And so there it is. Maddie's going for a blackberry and elderflower dessert. Blackberry mousse, lemon cremeux, elderflower genoise sponge covered in a blackberry mirror glaze. Holy smokes. The blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice. Left Maddie almost out on the floor, and I love Allison so much for it. Again, this is her episode. This was her time to shine. And she's like, yeah, it's true. And I'm like, yeah. Maddie's like, I don't know. Is it true?
Mm-hmm.
I loved it. I want y'all to know I absolutely loved it.
She made him think about a few things.
He really was. Over here like, oh shit, wait a minute now, girl.
Mm-hmm.
Saku was trying to hook Nick Jew up here with some Earl Grey and hibiscus floral dessert. Hibiscus flavored mousse and buttercream and Earl Grey cheesecake on top of a ginger biscuit base, topped with a 3D jelly flower. If nothing else, I'm always impressed by how they make these things.
Yes, definitely.
To watch them do this, the injection in the Saku had the nerve to say she ain't artistic.
Her decorations, except for when she wrote her name on that one thing, have been on point.
Exceptional.
Yeah.
At every turn, that is imposter syndrome line to that poor woman. She is an artist, and I hope she goes forth to make a bunch of art in life.
Yeah.
Tasha, elderflower and hibiscus, because that seems to be the name of the jam. Elderflower and hibiscus is a lot of people's situation. Floral dessert. Tasha signing because she was worried about her pronunciation of some of these French words was just kind of like, all right, I'm hearing you. I'm picking up what you're putting down.
She looked so like exhausted too. I think she was just having a mental fatigue moment, and I wouldn't want to be trying to speak a language that's not my first either when I'm tired.
For sure. When the first thing up is Palais Breton.
Right.
Yeah. You see what I'm saying? That's where we start at.
Yeah.
So Palais Breton biscuit base. A bavois. It's a French dessert because it's egg-based custard and gelatin, just in case you didn't know. 2 sponges, 3 different types of jellies, and a ruby chocolate mousse, all flavored with hibiscus or elderflower, wrapped in a hibiscus chican sponge, topped with jelly art. He's like, girl, this is literally proof that this is crazy. And it's like, have you practiced? I've done this twice. Like, not only have I practiced it, maybe I'm taking shots from back here, and we gonna do this. I'm like, okay.
And not to even mention that she had backup for her shit.
Smartly was back. Don't worry, I had another one for this reason. She knew what was up. Like Nick said, she was tired and was like, let me just prepare.
Mm-hmm.
Josh is going for a rhubarb, raspberry, and hibiscus floral dessert. A Charlotte Russe, which is so crazy. Not crazy, but it is crazy. That's twice now. One of us on the show has mentioned something, and it has come to fruition on the show. You know, Anthony talked about Charlotte Russe just a couple of weeks back, and here we are, a Charlotte Russe being prepared on the show. Sponge fingers on the outside, 2 layers of sponge as the cake inside, filled with a compote, 2 bavois flavored with a combination of raspberry, rhubarb, and hibiscus, topped with a 3D jelly flower. Dana, stop and smell the rosé. I will miss her pithy titles. I love them.
Clever.
Rose and raspberry bavois, white chocolate mousse, hibiscus jelly, and coconut sponge sitting inside of a sugar work box by which I am Showstopped.
That box was incredible.
It was an exquisite box.
That's what he said.
It was the one thing. I'm not. Oh, look, the Josh's jelly art,
it was
Saku's
great.
Jelly art,
Gorgeous,
both of them. But this was the one thing I was like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Everybody
stunning. Else, it was kind of whatever to me.
Yeah,
Christy.
Well, I thought Christie's. I like Christie's was the basket.
We're going to discuss this elderflower, strawberry, and rhubarb floral dessert, lemon elderflower, Genoise sponge, and creme diplomat with 2 jellies. This shit to me was so fucking plain. Almost in the vein, almost Maddie, just a little bit ahead of Maddie. And it's I guess whatever. It was like yay big. Most of that was white chocolate. Most of it then molded flour. So it's like you ain't really even doing anything. You're using the mold to do most of the work here. You're not actually building or making anything.
Yeah, I gotta push back on that. Her shit was whack. Not only
I don't agree, but I'm
gonna tell you the one reason why. Because she was crying about it. Okay, yes. But then the shit broke and she had enough time to fix it. Like that kind of
panic.
Yeah, she did panic. And I know she trying to, keep her her number 1 stunner status, but she had time to do it again. Like through all those tears, like the mold was the decoration. Like Maddie at least tried with the flowers and stuff, and like They said like the consistency was off a little bit inside, but I thought it looked nice.
We'll get there.
Okay.
And in fact, let's walk on down to Judgment Avenue. This is our judging for our Showstopper. Tasha's up top. Love the look. Professional. The line break will always happen. And now that I know what we're talking about, yeah, I know that line break always happens. And they put a ribbon around to stop it. Put a ribbon on your damn shit, people. Jelly looks lovely. Absolutely heavenly. I want to make something that's described as heavenly. Raspberry and hibiscus, delicious. Really good elderflower. The bitterness from the hibiscus balances beautifully with everything else. You get all these flavors together and you end up with something that's beautiful. It's a triumph. Wet from Beyond the Arc. Fuck with it. Saku, very pretty, very pastel. The jelly works beautiful. Distinctive lines, distinctive color. Just set, which is what you want. Unfortunately, the ginger is the overwhelming flavor and not much of anything else. Prue asks if it's raspberry and is told it's hibiscus. And the look on her face reads, the fuck it is. This right here is where I'm like, Prue was looking her in her face. Like, really? You gonna tell me this hibiscus? No, it's not. And so that's when I knew what it was. But Prue be like Nick said, just be looking you in your eye to let you know. Nah, son. Nah. So mild, it lacks punch. The textures are spot on. The flavors are lacking. And it seems it has been that way for all her showstoppers. Style over substance is what I wrote. Only to have Paul later say those exact words to somebody else, which made me go, come on, Paul, don't take my styles, man. Dan's up next. Certainly imaginative. Very nice, even layers. Too much of a floral situation here. Leaning on the perfumey side. Too sharp. The metal sweet comes through. A bit like fresh cut grass. I don't want that in my desserts. Strong botanical feel. The shoe is real good. Overall, a decent job. Maddie, not a showstopper. In any way, shape, or form was this a showstopper. It was not good. It simply was not. If y'all saw it, if you see it, you'll be like, no, that's just, it's not that it's trash. It's just so below what everybody else is bringing to the table this go around, with the exception of one other baker who, again, so it's like it sticks out like a sore thumb because of how just nothing it is.
Maddie should have cried.
Flowers would have looked better in a pile that cascades down. Just a bunch of flowers sitting there, just dull, looking like a bunch of soldiers. Prue says,
and they weren't like pretty flower. He just like the piping wasn't great. It was very small. To me, like y'all. Entitled to your opinion, but Christie's was pretty. This looked like I could have decorated this.
I will allow for that. I'm not saying Christie's wasn't pretty. What I'm saying is Christie's is only but a step above this, and it's all because the mold does that. Chrissy didn't do it. At least Maddie made these flowers and made the mirror glaze and so forth. You know what I'm saying? Christy painted chocolate into a mold.
Yeah, but isn't it there some level of difficulty getting things out of molds? People have issues with that all the time.
Is that what we tested on though?
All I'm saying is I looked at his and it looked like trash. I looked at hers and I was like, that is very pretty.
Fair.
I'm not talking about level of difficulty. I'm not talking about execution. I'm talking about pure aesthetics.
Pure aesthetics.
Much better than his.
It was pretty-ish. Ish. Nicely separated. The layers are nicely separated. The lemon elderflower just is not hidden. Does not meet the botanical brief. More of a lemon cake. The custard layer gets us our first stodgy of this series. They describe it as stodgy and rubbery, but also say it's delicious. And I don't understand how all those things can equate. Maybe it just tastes good, but felt weird, which I don't think I'd enjoy.
Yeah,
but sure thing. Certainly not a showstopper. Josh, it's beautiful. Looks great. Looks very pretty. Skillful injecting. Setting spot on, flavor spot on, great flavors, great textures, overall look. Shame about the split, just needs a ribbon. Great job. And there you have it. Dana, something of a showstopper with the box. Looks amazing. Stark colors. Not getting to the floral. Raspberry hits harder than the hibiscus. The sponge is dried out because it's been taking multiple turns inside the fridge while she tries to keep everything from, she don't want nothing to not be set. So the cake ends up being pretty solid. The layers are too thick. The appearance, exceptional, but it's style over substance. Poor thing. Christy really tries to start explaining herself, and Paul stop, just put his hand up. Bitch, that's not what we here for. I'm gonna tell you what's good and what's wrong about it, what's right, and we gonna keep it moving. And it was necessary. And we always be thinking, why ain't they somebody explain themselves? Probably because they probably shouldn't explain themselves. So I'm like, okay, I got you.
Well,
Thanks for that, Paul.
They be seeing what be happening.
Yeah, especially in that one, they know what's up.
Well, and for hers, it wasn't like a completely epic visual fail. So he's
Correct.
probably like, let us taste it. Let's see.
Yeah. Unless it's something terrible, don't worry about it.
Right.
Quite effective. The color's nice. Strong strawberry and elderflower. The sponge is all right. The setting's a bit messy. The chocolate, too much, too thick. The layers, a bit all over the place. I am not, this is my own personal take, I am not Showstopper. Pretty much the same as Maddie's looks-wise, but a better bake.
Yeah, I'm not
Now,
sure.
like Nick says, it is prettier, but that's because it used this beautifully intricate mold that needed a thinner situation, but the thinner one is what jacked up. It's because I guess it was warm in the tent.
Yeah.
That's another thing. I tried to look up when they actually filmed this to see what the hell the temperatures were around the tent at that time, and I what I saw was like, oh, this was filmed in late February, early March, and none of them temperatures of that in that time in that area would have matched that. And I'm like, it can't possibly be. So I don't know, but
Well, it's in a tent, and everybody got their ovens on.
yeah, that's true. Maybe just bring the house the heater for the whole situation. That having been said, your star baker this week, been knocking at it for so long. It was good to see him get on over this week. It is Josh.
The Memphis Bleak of the 10th finally got it.
Yeah, well deserved in my opinion. He really did earn it this week, and might have earned it in weeks past. Quite as kept, but we're gonna just keep it motherfucking moving here. And I'm quite happy for him. Truly, I am. Like I said, he really put on. Plus, I feel like he could be one of our finalists.
I hope so.
Amongst those remaining. Matter of fact, we'll discuss that here shortly. Sent home, unfortunately, is the only boo-like situation we had in the show this whole situation scene, and that is Dana. What that led to me doing is being able to follow her on Instagram, and that's a good thing. First person I follow from this series.
Well,
In fact, the only person I follow from this series, and I don't think anybody else is going to get that honor. Because I'm like,
I'm sorry we had to put Dana in the gangster lane tonight.
bruh.
This is for our homemade.
It's like if she had truly, if I thought she had met the end of her abilities, and she had reached a point where I'm like, okay, you've hit the end of your expertise. I would be like, I'd be fine with this. But I don't think that's the case. I just think she had a bad week, and I hate that.
And as much as I love Auntie, Saku should have been gone.
Yeah. By the skin of her teeth every week.
Yeah.
So of course, that's literally what I was about to ask. I think our weakest bakers in the tent are Saku and Maddie.
Yes.
Currently.
Yes. I will reverse that. I would say Maddie will probably go before Saku because she does manage to really do something really well every week.
Yeah. And he seems to just, he gets I'm not saying he's getting by because he was Star Baker at least once in this situation. So I'm not saying he's just getting by.
And he might have a great week. They might do something that plays to one of his strengths.
See if I can see what next week will be.
Don't do it. Last time you got spoiled trying to look.
I know.
It's not worth it.
I know how I typed it, so I know how to avoid it too. So we're gonna give it a go.
The only reason I think Saku might go first is because she gets flustered sometimes, and
She do be getting flustered.
And I don't really see Maddie doesn't really get like that bothered by, you know, positively or negatively. It's just like he's pretty consistent no matter what the feedback is, and like he just gives it the old UK try every time.
At this point, everybody's playing for who's going to the final with Tasha and Josh.
And kind of Daniel too. Dan, you know what I'm saying? Your boy has some Dan. Saying so. Basically,
has he been Star Baker?
Yeah, he was Star Baker first week. Remember?
Oh, right.
Yeah. So he came out the gate with his shit popping, and he's a great and a very, very, very skilled baker.
Mm-hmm.
They always are just, and because of that, they hold to such a high standard. It's like, this could have been better here. And he's like, you right.
Mm-hmm.
Uneven ass buns this morning. You know what I'm saying? And then you come back. So it's just like, whatever. Next week is desserts week.
What does
and
that
so
mean?
I know. So depending on what is asked of them, Maddie could make it. But just as easily he could not. And,
I really thought Tasha was going to run away with it, but now I feel like Josh didn't hit his motherfucking stride a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say he rope-a-doped it. I kind of feel like he kind of said, fuck it. Like it sounded like he wasn't getting the shine he was getting. So he just was just like, I'm just going to do my thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then y'all can, kiss the other people's tuchus. And while I just can stay consistent.
Because he's had some of the most memorable showstoppers, in my opinion.
Yes. Yeah, that burger and biscuits week. Oh, come on.
The pie thing that he just did for the pastry week. It was like, oh my God.
Shit. Come on, bro. Yes. See, where Saku's making these beautiful things.
Yes.
That are, barely hitting on the flavor, barely.
Which is crazy to me. I think it's racism. I think they are probably just like, oh my God, we can't. It's not bland. Because I know Saku, I think that's why she gets so like disappointed in herself. Because I could just see her being like, I make this all the time for my family and it's nasty. Like I messed this up.
I think another person who is trying to dial her flavors down for their palates. And I think she just need to hit them shits like she knows she can hit those shits.
Yeah.
And be like, bruh, you might not bang with this heat, but I do.
Yeah.
And it's just like, oh, okay.
Christy is a wild card. She's definitely shown that she is in this competition.
She could be. I also feel like she's going to panic attack her ass right off this motherfucker.
I don't know. I mean, Tasha passed out. For the record.
Hey man, I can't, and I truly can't call it. So that's real. When one of them, that's why I'm like, this shit had to have been filmed at a different time than people is being offered up. But like Ant said, who knows? It could be just hot as fucking that tent.
Yeah, I usually can tell by what people are wearing.
Oh, because old girl did come in that sweater that one day was like, I gotta get the fuck about this sweater.
Yeah.
So. Again, and another thing is temperatures in England, they be bugging when they get like 80 our way. And 80 is pretty normal for us, you know what I'm saying? They be like, this is fucking the worst heat wave that ever hit the UK. And it's like, I guess.
It might feel different though, because I've experienced that now being an East Coaster. Like at home, 85 is like temperate. Over here, 85 with some humidity on it. It's a 2-shower day.
And that shit is, it's just the islands, the big ass island. So
like 50s in California is fucking freezing.
Yeah. Man, weather is a wild one. It's so interesting. What should be our question of the week?
Question of the week. Question of the week. We got a motherfucking question of the week.
Yeah.
Trying to relate it to this is probably a poll or a question because it could have a yes or no answer. What were the buns? Hot cross buns or what was the other one?
Cinnamon roll or cardamom roll?
Oh, spice roll.
Yes.
Spice bun. Hot cross or spice bun?
Is that gonna be a question or a poll?
Oh,
Yeah, it could be a poll.
the question is, do you eat the outside of the cinnamon roll first or the inside
Or
first?
do you just
part of the cinnamon roll
bite
do you eat
into
first?
it like a savage? Wait, people eat the inside first?
Yeah. Some people
Who
do.
do that?
I pretty much almost anything I eat, I stuff it first. I'll eat the part I like least first and save the part I like the most last.
It's the dessert of your dessert.
Yeah.
We all know.
But
You know what it is.
You just cut it out the middle?
I don't see they just spiral that bitch out of there like lady in the trap that shit. But it's gotten so much of the culture that I think Cinnabon sells the middle now, just the middle.
Really?
Yeah.
I like to unroll that bitch.
Like a fruit by the foot.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, it's only because they're just so bad for you.
Oh my God, I haven't had one in years.
I only eat Cinnabons before I get on a flight. I gotta figure if I'm gonna die, I better go out with a Cinnabon in my belly. You know what I'm saying?
The last time I had one, I had some minis.
How that do texturally?
It's the same situation.
Fair.
Yeah, it's I swore when they put one in the mall down the street, I'm like, man, I'm gonna get me a cinnamon roll anytime I feel like it. Man, I ain't had one in like 4 years.
It's a lot.
It's probably better that way.
Yeah.
You can give us a call, 216-264-6311. That's 216-264-6311. We'd certainly love to hear from you. Podcast at Stage Crunchy and Milk is the email, and this email has been used this week. Who hit us up this week, y'all?
Frank.
It's Big Frank, the homie. Yay. Follow-up comments on Pastry Week episode. Mm-hmm. Hi, all. Just want to say you guys were on fire this last episode. Thank you so very much.
Thank you.
I wanted to write to you all about something in time for it, but I was out of town. Better late than never. The Guardian was live commenting on the episode when they saw the results of Rowan's Ab Fab Pies. They posted a YouTube video of Joanna Lumley and Jennifer Saunders and Lulu participating in the Celebrity Bake Off Charity Edition. It was pretty much early days when Mary Berry was still on. It was hilariously bad, like only happens on sitcoms bad.
Oh no.
Let's see if I can get this picture to pull up. Oh no, it's a whole ass video. I'm going to cut that YouTube video. Let me see if I can play y'all YouTube video without wrecking our record. And unlike some podcasters in these streets, your boy pay for YouTube, so you'll not get a commercial. You know what I mean? I listen to like my man Juan Ep. Juan Ep will be like, I'm about to play a YouTube video, and it'd be like, oh, we gotta wait for the commercial. I'm like, you are professionals.
Right. Pay for the damn YouTube. Imagine I work out. Like 90% of my workouts are from YouTube. So imagine they just cut into your shit. Like, bruh, y'all couldn't have waited till we were on a break, on a rest.
I watched Bake Off last night. Suddenly I noticed Mary's gimlet eyes staring at things and Paul's unsmiling blue gaze. And quite honestly, I couldn't sleep for the rest of the night. I'm wondering if that's a tablespoon. I don't think it is.
It's very tense at the moment. Ooh. Lulu knows exactly what she's doing, and I'm tempted to go over and turn her oven down.
What I'm making here is a double-layered biscuit. This is lightening up like mad, Mary. Look.
It's doing well. You've only got to get that flour in. You're away.
Okay.
Thank you, John.
Thank you so much.
You got Paul's here.
Right?
They spoke to me. 10 minutes into the cooking, and it quite honestly just looks brown at the moment. I don't want to let Mary down.
Oh, look, it's completely wobbly.
What happened?
It's turned into...
Oh, no.
What did you put in it?
a little bit of baking powder.
No, you didn't. You put in 2 tablespoons of baking powder.
I didn't.
How's it going, Jen?
It's going really well, thanks, Lulu.
Is it going as well as mine's going? Good.
It's going beautifully,
I'm happy for you.
She's so competitive. Now, what I'm going to make is the chocolate crispy base because it's going to have 2 layers.
All right, we'll of course drop that in the show notes. Frank, man, thank you so much for just writing in and providing us with that little bit of good time. Also, word to Irish for that working.
Right?
I'm telling you, so one time I tried to play a video on here on YouTube, and it started going in infinity. It just started going, brrr, and I was like, okay, this is ruining the entire record. I got to stop the whole thing. We got to shut it down. So,
and I sent you. I found out what podcast it was on. It was.
I grabbed it. I grabbed the link already. So
yeah, it's one of my favorite shows that is now not on anymore, but it's a really, really good listen.
Yeah, for colored nerds, Brittany Luce and Eric Eddings used to host that.
Yes, and Brittany Luce is now on. It's been a while. I think that's
So fuck with it. I love those two because she used to be on something on Gimlet. They did something first, then they went to Gimlet, then they left Gimlet, and then now they're whatever.
When the whole Gimlet debacle went down.
Yeah, man, Gimlet and what was it? Bon Appetit. All that shit went down. You know what I'm saying? It's like it was wild in these streets.
Gimlet was doing a thing about Bon Appetit, and it was like, "Hey, Spider-Man here, my dude."
That's exactly what that was too, bro. And it was like, oh no, I'll never forget that. But that is the show this week, y'all. Next week is dessert week. It'll be a great and good time to be discussed and so forth and so on. I cannot wait. So you know what the deal is. Please keep listening, keep sharing, letting people know what's what. I'm saying, again, I see the numbers. They look good. I'm very happy with how things is looking, but they could always be better. And the better we do, hey, the doper it feels. And I'm all about that life. That is the little homie Nick Jew.
Hasta luego.
Okay. That's what's up. You got your fresh, what's the tea to
sure
brew with this
did.
week?
We actually recorded in the same room. It was like jumping in a time machine. It was crazy.
I absolutely love it. Also, Nick was on Black Guy Who Tips last Sunday.
Yes.
Don't get me the line.
Yes, Sunday.
And it's always a delight to be on that show as well. So, you know what I'm saying, you got your couple of, and again, I will probably link to all these things because it's what I do. Well, look, What's the Tea is already linked in the show notes. All you got to do is click right there where it say, where it literally just says, what's the tea? Click it. Boom. There you are.
We got our one in for the month.
That's what's up. That is my man Tatum 216.
Bring me some of that pudding shit. I'm sorry. Bring me some of that pudding type shit. I'm sorry.
Pudding type shit, my man.
Let me warmly quote Nick for that because that shit was so funny.
Saying I need some of that pudding type shit to help me get on up out this bitch. I am the Internet's Table 713. Continue to bake with us, people. We'll get it next week. Peace.
What happened to your ass? It used to be beautiful.